Hi, I'm Nikki and this is a sketchbook tour. This has taken me about a year to finish on and off. I wasn't that consistent with it until like beginning of this year. So also I completely changed my style halfway through it, which is super helpful. So there's going to be a big mix of different artwork in here. I want to do another video about why I changed my art style, how successful it was, and advice to people who want to change their art style, so stay tuned for that. But this is just going to be a tour of this bad boy, which is a big old thick man and has many things pasted into it, which has made it pretty fat. So yeah, it should be fun. I've only ever done one of these and I never posted it anywhere, so who knows what this is going to be like. But get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, maybe a beer or a wine, depending on where you are, what time it is. You do you, I'm not going to judge. And yeah, this should be fun. No pressure on me, hopefully. Probably a lot of pressure on me because, you know, that's what you do. But yeah, buckle up because it's going to be a crazy ride. Okay, so this is a really old sketchbook that I've had for absolutely ages. I don't remember where I got it from. I have a suspicion that I got it from one of those, like a Wilko's type place. If you're not from the UK, Wilko's is a shop that does kind of everything, but it's really, really cheap. And they do things like art supplies that are sort of unbranded, and this is probably where I got it from. I know it's cheap because the paper is awful. I don't know if you can see, but it's a really weird creamy colour. It's smooth, but it also is really soft and it doesn't take very long to buckle. I had other drawings in here already, and at some point when I started this I decided that I had so many sketchbooks, I was just going to fill them all and fill all the old rubbish ones before I started on my nice ones, because I have like a Faber-Castell watercolour one, I have really nice branded ones, and I don't want to touch them until these are finished. So that's what I did. So I ended up tearing out, this is why there's washi tape here, I ended up tearing out all the pages that I'd drawn in it already, which was only about 10 pages, so it really didn't make it that much thinner, but yeah, the pages started falling out, so I had to washi tape them in. Originally, I was going to use this to focus on certain things I wanted to draw once a day, focus on these certain things each day of the week. So Monday I wanted to focus on face and expression, Tuesdays flowers and plants, Wednesdays hands and feet, Thursday anatomy and clothes, Saturday animals, Sunday backgrounds and locations. So I wanted to learn how to draw everything. That was a bad plan, and we'll get into that. But yeah, so this is the stuff that I wanted to work on. It's the first page, well, the inside cover page, and then this is just the maps of my watercolour palettes. So I have two sizes of watercolour palettes. I have small ones, so I have two, this one and this one. They're small, they're for taking out and about, and I have one that has greens and blues and purples and a couple of warm tones, and I have one that's more portrait colours, so all the warm tones, browns and things like that. So I have small ones of those, and I have exactly the same but big. So these, my idea was that these would be used in the studio and these would be used out and about, and I would draw everywhere and everywhere. That didn't really happen. But yeah, this is my map, because the first time I ever filled these, I didn't make a map, and that when I came to refill them, I couldn't remember which yellows there were. So the yellows that I originally filled them in are not the ones that are in there now, but I know which ones are in there now, so it's fine. Anyway, on to the actual sketchbook. So, as I said, my style change is about halfway through. So the beginning is where I'm trying to draw anything and everything to some degree of success and some degree of failure. So this is the first day, which was faces, pretty standard. I was pretty caught up in the pretty girl drawing trend. I wasn't really getting anywhere with it, but I thought it's because I can't draw them well enough, so I'll just keep drawing it. So we have faces, some plants. I'm still pretty proud of this actually. This is all watercolour. The blue is this pen, which is a Pentel, I can't read it, Colourbrush, Pentel Colourbrush, and you can get these in all different colours. I have a ton of them. They're super fun to draw with. I love them, but they're just very expensive for what they are. So yeah, so this is watercolour and the blue Pentel Colourbrush. I do love these flowers. I still quite like them. Oh, the background is the pink. Is it the pink one or the purple one? It's probably the pink one actually. But yeah. So here's where I'm trying to draw hands. This whole spread took me about 2 days and it was just really hard and I didn't enjoy it. I love how it turned out, but I just didn't enjoy painting it. And I think this is where I started to kind of be like, something needs to change. There's some anatomy. So the lines I did with that, and I actually preferred it before I did the lines. But hey ho, I still think it looks alright. I like the colours. There's a bit of scenery. I don't mind this. Scenery is not my strong point. I do need to practice it more because I do want to learn how to do it. But this I don't mind. It's okay, I like the plants. And some animals. I really enjoyed drawing this, which I think might have contributed to my later on deciding that I just wanted to draw animals altogether forever. But yeah, it's a little... what is that? Is it like an Arctic fox or something? No. Anyways, I forget what it is. That's bad. There's a bouquet drawing. I love this. I still love this. But again, this whole spread took me like 2 days and I wanted to do a spread a day and it was just taking way too long. So something needed to change. This face I also love. I do love drawing portraits. It's just, I could only really do them really well from a reference, so I find it difficult to draw them from my head. There's some more hands and feet. Using these. I love the red background in this. Absolutely love it. Some coloured pencil anatomy. I think I did this while my boyfriend was watching football. It was so boring. So I did these. Used this type of pencil. These are Derwent Coloursoft pencils, which used to be my pencil of choice. They are now not. But they were good. They lasted me a while. I had a full set of them. I was like 24. But yeah, they're very buttery, which I like. There's a giraffe, which I did using those pencils. Again, just being like, oh, drawing animals is fun. And then some cinema tickets. I went to go see Jurassic World. I think this is off of a Body Shop bag. Like they have paper bags when you go into the shop, Body Shop. They're like a cosmetic shop. You have paper bags and this was on it. And I really liked the phrase, so I stuck it in here. And Sailor Jupiter. I love Sailor Moon. It's a problem. I obsess over it. Anyway, there's another scene, some more faces. I don't mind these. I like the colours. Self-portrait, outfit of the day type thing. The less said about that, the better. And yeah, some more. I don't know, is this like... I mean, I covered the bits, so... Am I like... Is it... Because YouTube is like funny now, isn't it? Like, am I going to get done for that? Maybe I should linger less on it. Let's just carry on. Okay. Some turtles. Again, the animals are creeping in. I'm loving the animals and they're definitely creeping in here. I love this drawing. To this day, I love this drawing. I love those pants, I really want them. The cat's not very good, but it's fine. The rest of it is good. This is all watercolour. This was just to test a camera setup when I was going to start doing YouTube videos. There's a little foil lid off a can. I love that idea because I'm terrified of can lickers. I mean, people who just like lick the lids of cans. Gross. Train tickets. Me and my boyfriend went to Felix store. Oh, did we? Yeah, we did. With my family. Some more colour pencil drawings. I was very much into colour pencils at the minute. This I love still. And some Pokemon. I wanted to try drawing realistic Pokemon. So this is a Leafy one. It's terrible. I hate it. I do want to try this again though. I feel like I would do it better now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try it again. Roselia, Glameow, and a Fanfi. I love the Fanfi one. He is adorable. But I think this was this the first time I used the gouache? I bought gouache and I'd never used it. Everyone says gouache differently. I say gouache. Some people say gouache. Some people say something else. I'm sure some people say gouache. That is not right. Say it how you want. I say gouache. So I bought some gouache to see what it was like. I think probably because I saw someone like Audra or Claire painting with it, and I was, well, I still am quite obsessed with it, but I was more obsessed with it at this point. So I was like, oh, I'll go buy some and see what it's like. So I got some really cheap ones. They are Rowney, I think, but they're like quite entry level ones. So it was like a tenner for a set of like 12. Got those. Didn't mind this, but it's not my best drawing. And then started to get better, but these I was using straight out of the tube, so I was squeezing the tube into a palette and using it that way, and I found that it was not an economical way of using it because it would dry in the palette and then it would be really difficult to use. So I was kind of getting bored of using it. But yeah, I did these. Never finished that. I definitely started to get bored of doing like the trendy fashionable pretty girl drawings at this point. This I didn't mind, but this is... So I was really inspired by people like Jacqueline de Leon, Audra or Claire, like I said. And I think I was trying to do them, if you see what I mean, and it just wasn't working because it wasn't me. But yeah, this spread I really like. So this is... I bought the Holbein pink watercolour, gouache paints, and I was still using the Rowney ones, and I just was trying stuff out, but noticed how much I loved the pink ones, how vibrant they were. Started experimenting with using the gouache for coloured lines. This I love. This girl is so beautiful, and this girl. This one's not so much, but this deer is pretty cute too. I recently repainted this one, did it much better. I can't see the sketchbook around it is in, but I think I did recording of that, so that'll be up soon. This day I decided to go to the park near where I used to live and do some painting. It did not go well. I'm not very good at painting outside. When I was at uni, we had to go out and draw buildings in Cambridge. I went to uni in Cambridge. We had to go out and draw buildings for like an entire week, and I hated it. As soon as I leave the studio, I feel so much pressure. I would much rather work from a photo. But it's not, I mean, I think you get the sense of shading, if nothing else. But yeah, I got sunburned that day, it was nice. I love her. I did record this, but my phone died like halfway through, so I never uploaded it anywhere. I love her. This is where I really got into using purple lines too. This is pretty good. I don't know if you can see this guy, but he has such, if I do this, such a beautiful face. The man I used in the reference is so gorgeous. There's some ferrets. Can you see, if I do this, can you see a bit better? Yeah, a little bit. Some ferrets. So I'm starting to draw more animals just because it's more interesting to me. This is Brandon, that's really boring. This is a painting I did from a picture that I took. We went to Framlingham Castle, which is near like an old medieval castle near where we live, to watch some jousting, and they had like a blacksmith there, and they had all like the old like tradespeople, and this was, I think, the blacksmith's wife and his dog, and everyone was watching the blacksmith, and I was just obsessed with this dog and how he kept trying to bother the blacksmith's wife and she was basically just ignoring him, and it was really cute, so I painted that. This is after, so around this time I made my gouache palettes. So instead of squeezing the tubes out onto a palette, I just did, oh that's wet, I just did them in the same way that I did these guys, thinking I don't know if it's going to work, but it seems more economical, and it works. It really, really works. So if you have gouache and you're finding that you're going through the tubes really quickly, buy a few of these and just squeeze them out, leave them to dry for like 5 days. You have to activate them once they're dry by, I get a water dropper and I just drop water in, leave it for like a couple of minutes before I start using it. They will never be as opaque as straight out of the tube, but I just find that I'm not buying it so often, so I think I would rather that. But yeah, so I'm starting to use more gouache. I'm starting to draw more animals. In fact, I think this was a point where I decided to completely change my art style. I took a break from Instagram and social media and everything, and I was like, I'm just gonna draw. I'm gonna try and draw one thing a day, even if it's something tiny. Just draw animals and flowers and plants and see what happens. And I cannot tell you how much it has changed. Not my life. Has it changed my life? It's changed my outlook on things. I think my veganism probably helps a lot as well, but just drawing animals and focusing on naturalism has really benefited me, not just in artist, but in terms of my mental health, mental well-being. Just makes me a lot happier. So this is a little panda and some bamboo. I actually drew this on my Wacom tablet into Clip Studio Paint and then printed it and made it into a painting, which I can't find, but I'll try and put a little picture of it here somewhere. Anyway, this is a little sea turtle that I did. That's completely in Clip Studio Paint and printed it. I bought my proper printer and some printer paper to make art prints, and this was just a test, but I really liked it. So I stuck it in here. This is where I chose my colour palette. So this is where I decided that instead of using all the colours in the world, I was just going to use pink and yellow and green and grey. And that has helped me so much in just like narrowing down what I want to paint and just painting in a more concise way, and in a way that makes more sense, and in a way that when you look at my Instagram grid, for example, it all looks like it belongs there rather than it being sort of all over the place. So yeah, that's where I started doing this. I love the snaky man. I love him so much. I love red pandas. I draw them a lot. Red pandas and raccoons, you're gonna see a lot in here. This is the first time I tried using gouache with pencils, and I'm still using these pencils. So I did the painting and then did some of the shading and the outlines using pencil. It didn't work, but I do it now because I figured out a better way of doing it, and I bought different pencils. So some more. I liked the layout of this, so I started doing that more. So some more guys. This guy. If you might have noticed, I only just uploaded this to my Instagram. I had the picture sat on my Instagram for ages, and I drew it like 6 months ago. So yeah. Friendly reminder that you can just take pictures of things and leave them on your Instagram, and if you find a time where you don't have anything else to post, you can post it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's still art. It's still good. Okay, there's a little squirrel guy. Just in colour pencil, just one night while we're watching TV. This is the colour test for another piece that I painted that I can't find, so I will leave it here somewhere. And then this is me prepping for Inktober, so I was figuring out how I was going to do it, making washes. In the end I didn't do anything like this, I just ended up doing coloured lines because this was just knackering my brain. And there's an envelope from, so my day job, I'm a graphic designer for an electrical distributor, and we buy in a lot of products from China, and they send the invoices in these cardboard envelopes with dragons printed on them, and it's so gorgeous. So that's that. This is around winter time, or on winter. I decided I was going to change my colour palette. It did not go well, so I changed it back. This is when I finally found my perfect pairing of medium, and that was, I got out these bad boys. So these are actually brush markers, but I started out with pro markers. The difference between them, I don't think, oh I do, okay. So pro marker has like a little tip like that, kind of like a felt tip, and then has the chisel end. And a brush marker has a brush nib, so it's squishy and it's nice and it makes nicer lines. So I chose my pink, my green and my grey in these guys, and then I did these little swatches, and I took this whole piece of paper to Hobbycraft, which is a craft shop, a UK craft shop, and was like, I'm gonna find my perfect pencils, and just doodled on this paper to find my pencils, and I finally found them. And they are Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, and they are gorgeous. They layer really well. They're quite waxy, which I quite like. This is one that I use for lining. I have to buy like 4 of these at a time because I go through them so quickly. In fact, I just replaced all these. Now these are like £2 each, so if you're only using a really limited colour palette, they're actually quite cheap. I think they're like £1.80 each in Hobbycraft. So I just go and I buy like 2 at a time. But yeah, so this is me experimenting with how they work together. Turns out really well. But they bleed through is the only problem. They're not good for sketchbook because they bleed through to these. This is me trying to cover it with gouache. You can see it a little bit better here where it bleeds through, so it's not the greatest. Oh, this is voting day. I don't know, this might alienate people to tell you this, but my boyfriend is a local councillor for the Labour Party, which I guess is like maybe the UK equivalent of the Democrats. I don't know if that's a fair comparison. He might disagree. I was waiting for him to come home on this day because he didn't come home until like midnight because he was out campaigning trying to get people to vote for Labour. Bless him. He does a good job. He works really hard. So I drew some ferrets while I was waiting for him, and I loved them. But yeah, you can see the bleed through. This is some Body Shop gift wrap. That isn't correct. Gift bags from Christmas time that I like the pattern of, so I tend to do this with packaging. If I find packaging that I really like, I'll keep some of it and I'll stick it in my sketchbook and then not draw on those pages but feel like I've done something. This is a page where I was really experimenting with different things, so I got my gouache out and I was doing, I don't know what these are, that's quite bad. These might be Arctic foxes actually. So I painted the whole thing, and then some of them I lined with this, some of them I lined with a brush. Where is my liner brush? This is the brush that I used to line. It is a Rowney. I use a lot of Rowney stuff. System 3 round 3/0. Now it's a round rather than a pointy tip. This is more, is this a pointy tip? No, that's a round. God damn. Well, I used to use these. Winsor & Newton University series. I used these for Inktober, and then when I cleaned them, I left them in some hot water and it bent the tips. So I can't use these to line anymore. Also, they were really old. So I needed to get a new one, but I didn't want to buy them. And I got these because it was cheaper, and it's okay, it does the job. So I lined some of it with a brush, and then some of it I lined with these, which are just brown Faber-Castell fine liners. These are actually my granddad's. When he died, they gave me, my dad and my auntie gave me a box of like his old art. He was a painter, of his old art supplies, and they were in there, and this is the first time I used them, and I can't believe they were dried up because I probably had them for about 3 years. There's a little bear cub with some sunflowers and a bear mama. Again, I was just trying to fill pages quick. I think I was trying to do a drawing a day at this time. So a lot of these are quite simple, but I like them. This is New Year's Eve. Who drew tigers? We ate Pizza Hut and we drew tigers. Well, I drew tigers. Colin did draw tigers. And this is the label off of some pyjamas that my mum got me. I love Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. He's my favourite. So I popped him in there. This is the wrapper for my Pizza Hut fries. It was yummy. And a chameleon. I asked Colin what I should draw. Colin's my boyfriend. I asked Colin what I should draw, and he said to draw a reptile, so I drew a chameleon because they're colourful. And I think this is this guy with, I think the highlights are yellow Faber-Castell Polychromos, and then the darker bits I think are this colour, which is middle purple pink, and then the lines are this colour, which is red violet. I love that as a liner. There's a dog in a jumper and a goat in a jumper. This is not very good. Is it a goat? It's terrible. Anyway. So these are some sticker designs. Well, this isn't. These are some sticker designs that I made. Again, I asked Colin what I should draw, and he said something with horns. So I drew a deer, which has antlers, not horns, but the same thing. And this was inspired by, we watched David Attenborough's, what is it called? 7 Worlds? 7 Worlds, One Planet, and the episode in Europe. If you've seen it, you'll know how adorable the wild hamsters are. If you have not seen it, type into YouTube, David Attenborough, wild hamsters. They're adorable, so I had to draw one. And yeah, I want to make it into a sticker design, but I've been trying to scan it in and clean it up, and it's proven a bit difficult, so I might have to redraw it. This is it's called a serval. It's kind of an African cat. It's a cub. It's so cute. And just some fruits. I was trying to draw food. Some squirrel studies I did, but that I don't really like. There's a penguin. I think it was World Penguin Day or Penguin Awareness Day. I just did this quickly whilst I was watching Colin make lunch. A little fox. Some more Chinese envelopes. Some bunnies. I really like these 2 spreads. This is very Eastery, I think. I don't know. I might redraw this and make it into a sticker. I'm really into making sticker designs at the minute. This was when the new series of Sabrina came out, so the most recent series. Is that season 3? I didn't rate it too much, but while I was watching it, I drew Salem and some flowers, but I didn't like it in the end. This is me trying to do scenery. This one I quite like, this one I don't like. Whenever I have to draw scenery, I just get so like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And perspective is hard, and so I don't do it that often, but I need to try. I need to try harder. And these are just some assorted flowers. I think I was like really burnt out at this point, but I wanted to draw something, so I just like was at the dining table and got my phone out, went on Pinterest and just drew some things. I have these in my studio at the minute. I've just realised some pink. I have some pink tulips in my studio that look just like this. Very cute. I did not know that leaves like this existed, by the way. They are so cool. Like, this is not me going crazy with colours and going, well, this is my colour scheme, like I usually do. This is what they actually look like. It's nuts. They're cool. Some badgers. from a collaboration that I'm supposed to be doing with a friend on Instagram, but I haven't got around to doing it yet, and I think he thinks I've forgotten about him, but I haven't. Millhouse, I haven't forgotten about you. That's for Groundhog Day. Do you little groundhog? He's adorable. Some more badges. See, look, I'm practicing for the collaboration. So there's badges. This is called a dog rose. And I think this might be honeysuckle. This is a pika, and it's a member of the Lagomorph family, which is like bunny rabbits, but this is like more of a mouse type thing. Oh my god, they're so cute. Google them if you don't know what they look like. That's a possum and it's not very good. Some more sticker designs. So these are endangered animals. So you've got the Amur leopard, pangolin, giant sea otter, and tiger. I want to do a series of stickers of endangered animals because it's sad that they're endangered, and I feel like people need to be more aware. Another endangered animal, these are water voles. These are indigenous to the UK and they're going extinct. A lot of the UK's indigenous animals are going extinct and nothing seems to be being done about it, which is really sad because they're super cute. And some squirrels. This is one of the brightest pages I've done. I really enjoyed it though. I did it pretty, like it's pretty messy, but yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Is that, okay, so we're coming to like the end. I was getting really sick, as you can see. I mean, I didn't properly finish it, but I was just getting I nearly swore then. I was getting really sick of it and I just wanted to start. That, like, the paper is terrible. It's too big. I didn't want something so big, so I'm just trying to fill the space now. I think that's why this didn't take that long either, because I was just like, oh, just fill the page. But I love it, so maybe I should do that more often. This is the sketches for a card I made for my boyfriend's birthday. He loves The Office, the UK version. And this is Ricky Gervais as David Brent, who is the boss in The Office. And yeah, I hadn't at this point drawn a portrait since. And this is like beginning of February maybe. Hadn't drawn a portrait since this. And this was, I don't know, this might have been February actually. So in like a year, I hadn't drawn a portrait. I don't think I did alright. It wasn't the greatest, I was pretty rusty, but anyway. There's another red panda just to finish off. And then I didn't fill these because there's bleed through, so, and also I don't have to. Shut up, you're not the boss of me. So yeah, and then there's just some miscellaneous gunk in here that I shan't be going through because it's probably all from about 100 years ago. This, I don't know if you can see this. There's some little sketches that my university boyfriend did about 7 years ago maybe. How old am I now? I'm 28. It's probably about 7 years ago that he drew these. I think they're Final Fantasy weapons. So that's how long I've had this. And I've only just finished it. But yeah, that's it. That's it for that. So this is gonna go in the bookcase and never be looked at again probably. But it's done now and I've moved on to this guy. Ignore this. This is another sketchbook that's probably about 8 years old. But yeah, I'm just trying to fill them up. I took a lot of pages out of this one. But yeah. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you liked it. If you didn't like it, like, comment, subscribe anyway. Don't comment actually if you didn't like it, because if you're gonna say mean things, I don't want to hear it. If you have genuine feedback, I would love to hear that. But yeah, and I have some ideas for new videos coming up, so hopefully we'll do some more things together, and I'll see you very soon. Okay, this has gone on for a very long time. Okay, goodbye!